This is High Voltage with Bobby Watts.
Hello there, what is going on? How you guys doing? This is Bobby Watts coming to you again with another one of my High Voltage with Bobby Watts podcast episodes. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying the first two that I did with Bo and Jordy. Those were a blast to do. I really enjoyed kind of tackling two different subjects, one of cinematography and the other of as seen on TV and infomercials. It's really interesting to me. That was just fascinating talking to Bo. So I hope you guys really enjoyed that. So with this one, I just wanted to do something, once again, completely different. So this one, it's just me kind of riffing it solo here on a nice Sunday morning here at my desk. And what I wanted to do was, I've had the idea of doing this for a little bit. A lot of people know that I work with drones and radio control things. But mostly drones. And for years and years, I've always heard, oh, I've got one of those. I've got one of the toys, or, my dad bought me this for Christmas, or my son bought me this for my birthday or whatever. And it's usually these cheap kind of little play toy drones. But now the conversation is kind of shifting. And I've been thinking about doing this, and I finally had it. So many people have been asking me, so many of my close friends have been saying, hey, man, I think I want to get a drone for like $200. What should I get? And, within the last year or so, I've been getting this a lot. And I think that there's a lot of interest out there for people, whether they're, just like techie kind of dudes who maybe enjoy video games, or it's usually guys. Girls don't really seem to want to fly drones, which is cool. I don't blame you guys at all. But most of the guys out there just seem like, hey, I want to film my bachelor party, or, I go hunting. I want to film with something. So everybody kind of seems to, not everybody, but a lot of people have a decent interest in drones now. And I think that the technology has finally met the price where a lot of people can actually afford a drone to use as an aerial extension of your smartphone camera. That's about the most fair and best way to say it. So I think that most people out there who would possibly want a drone are, taking photos with their phones and uploading it to social media and such, going on trips, vacations, whatever it is, hanging out with their buddies, and they want a drone to document it. Very cool. Totally understand. And here I am. I'm going to help you out with it. So, first and foremost, the drones that we're going to be talking about are going to range anywhere from literally like $100 all the way. I'll bring up the full top of the line professional ones that we fly on movie sets and such for like $50,000, just to give you an idea of the breakdown and what's kind of the same and what's kind of different about these drones and why some are cheaper, why some are more expensive. Now, I should also say that I am not being paid by anybody, especially DJI, to be saying this, but every single product I talk about today will be by DJI, and it's really simple. They're a Chinese company. They make, without a doubt, the best drones, period. Nobody's even close to second, in my opinion. If you buy anything else but a DJI drone here at the end of 2018, I don't know. You're just one of those guys who's trying to prove something to somebody else. I don't know what to tell you. They literally have the best technology out there. Nobody's even close. So if you want to buy a drone and it's not DJI, then I don't know what you're doing. I can't help you. So if you want to buy a drone, definitely look at the DJI products. They make incredible products that hold up for years. You can put hundreds of flights on them, and literally it's just like owning an iPhone or whatever it is, like a smartphone. It's super simple. There's no maintenance. They just work great. I've had nothing but good luck with DJI products. So once again, I'm not paid or endorsed or anything by them. I'm just talking about products that I've actually used myself and products that I recommend. So with all that being said, let's get right into it. So starting right at the beginning, let's just go from low price range all the way up to the highest price range. And what are you going to get out of these drones and what's different about it? So starting off at the cheapest drone that I would recommend is by DJI, and it's called Telo, T-E-L-L-O. Take a look at it. It's $95. I'm looking at it here on Amazon. It's $95 and it comes completely ready to go, ready to fly. Now with the Telo, they don't have a controller. And what you use is you use your smartphone or your tablet in order to control it. And at first I thought that was a little hokey. At first I thought it wouldn't do so well. But I've used it with an iPad and with any sort of tablet, it is awesome. Like, it is badass. This thing is very cool. So the Telo is the coolest part about the Telo is that it self-hovers. So it can hover completely hands-free and will stay in the same spot. So they're using some sort of vision tracking or whatever to literally keep it there in one spot. So if you want to bust this thing out in your living room and you take your hands off the controls, it will literally hover there. Now, this is a big deal. This is its biggest selling point because a lot of the drones in this price range don't have that. So even if you take your hands off the sticks, they're going to slowly start drifting around a little bit. So this is the main reason I recommend the Telo first and foremost. It hovers extremely, extremely well. So if you've never flown a drone before and you kind of want to get into it and figure out how things work and how the controls work and how you'd actually fly it, the Telo is just perfect. It's got a camera. It's a 5 megapixel camera. You can even record 720 video. So it's really not bad. Like, you could fly around your living room and film your cat or your dog or your family goofing off or whatever it may be. I've flown it outside in relatively calm conditions and it did just fine. Like, literally, the Telo did badass. It's really good. It's a nice product. So I would recommend taking a look at your, whatever it might be, wherever you buy electronics. I think Best Buy even sells these, or a local hobby shop, or once again, Amazon has them. They include extra batteries, extra propellers, whatever it may be. The Telo is just super cool. They've got little modes where it can flip around. It can do flips and rolls and spin in circles and all sorts of different things. So starting at the lowest price range that I would recommend for under $100, if you've never flown a drone before, Telo is the best. We're also coming up on Christmas here. If you know anybody that's ever had an inkling of interest in a drone, without a doubt, Telo is the best drone for anybody who's never done anything RC before. It's so simple, anybody can use it. So definitely recommend that one. Telo is really, very, very cool for that price range. Okay, so moving on very quickly. I believe the next one is the drone that I would recommend to 80% of the people out there. Literally 80% of you. So pay attention. No, just kidding. Okay, so the next one that I would really recommend is once again by DJI, and it's called the Spark, S-P-A-R-K, the DJI Spark. Now, why would I recommend this drone to anybody? Okay, so the DJI Spark is DJI's kind of cheapest beginner drone. I think they call it, like, they really push it for beginners. And it has all the functionalities of every drone that I'm about to talk about, like, here on out. So the difference between this drone and a drone that costs $20,000 really is just the camera, flight time, and top speed, and maybe like 5% of other cool little features here and there. But the DJI Spark is without a doubt the most bang for your buck that you're going to get. So once again, pulled it up on Amazon here. It's $399 with the radio. Like, come on, this is such a good deal. So with the DJI Spark, you get about a 12-minute flight time, if I recall. You have a 1080p camera on board, so you can record like high-definition video so that you can share on YouTube or Facebook or whatever it is. Comes with the remote controller that you will then hook your smartphone up to. So your smartphone, I believe it's even got a port in the back where you can even plug a tablet into it. And so this means that with the controller and your smartphone, you can see the video that it's putting out in real time. And the thing is really solid. It's a nice drone. So it's got a fully stabilized gimbal. So that means that if you're up there flying in whatever, 10 mile an hour winds, 15 mile an hour winds, then the camera's going to stay completely steady. So your picture's going to be nice and smooth. And as you fly around, it's not going to look all bouncy and jittery. For example, the Telo did not have that. So this has a nice stabilized gimbal, and it really works great. So once again, if you have a little bit of drone experience or something, and maybe you've had something like a Telo in the past and you kind of want to move up to that next step, without a doubt, for under $400, the DJI Spark is the coolest one you can get. Now, if you're listening to this so right now it's the end of 2018, so it's November 2018, and maybe you can look, maybe DJI's kind of come out with something else that is their intention to replace the Spark. I would have a look at that because they really know what beginners want. So whether they come out with a Spark 2 or Spark 3, I have a feeling it's only going to build upon what they got here. And this thing is just great. Like, it's such a good drone. Top speed's like 30 miles an hour. I think they're calling 16-minute flight time. I had closer to 12 when I had mine. But the Spark is really cool. So how the Spark works is, I would only recommend this for outside, to be honest. You can fly inside, but you need a pretty decent base inside. So when you take it outside, what happens is the Spark has GPS satellites where it's going to pick up its location on Earth. And then when you put it into a hover and you lock it in there, then it's going to keep itself in the same exact GPS spot, no matter how much wind there is. So if you've got a 10, 15, even 20 mile an hour wind, it's going to be able to sit there and stay in one spot, which makes your life so much easier. It makes it very, very, very easy to hover this thing and to fly it. You will then use an app that they have called DJI Go 4. And in DJI Go 4, what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to see the picture real time from the drone. You're going to be able to start and stop the camera. You're going to be able to take a photo. And then you can get into all these cool little intelligent flight modes that they have. Like instead of a selfie, they have something called a droney, where you press one button and the drone will start recording and then pull back from you to reveal wherever you're standing. So if you're standing on top of a mountain, if you're standing on a boat in the middle of the ocean and you hit the droney button, it's literally going to pull back and just reveal where you are in a gorgeous little video that they automatically cut together for you. It is super cool. A drone like this even has return to home, auto landing if the battery ever gets low. It's got a lot of very cool features in here that I think you're going to find useful. So that's really it in a nutshell. There's so much more to talk about with the Spark. I could probably talk about this for like an hour itself. But once again, if you want to get started with a drone and have something that you can fly outside, then I think that the Spark is without a doubt best bang for your buck, under $400. So definitely take a look at that. Okay, so moving on. So let's just say you heed my advice and you went and you got yourself a Spark and you love it. But maybe you're meeting some of its limitations. So maybe it doesn't go fast enough to catch up with your boat while you're filming your kids water skiing. Or maybe the flight time isn't long enough or whatever. So I think once again, going back to it, the Spark is like the perfect drone to get in to even see if you would use a drone. So if you don't even know how much you'd use it for, the Spark is like perfect to just kind of test the waters. But let's just say you got a Spark, you love it, and now you want more. Maybe you want more flight time or whatever it may be. So the next drone that I would really recommend is their Mavic series, M-A-V-I-C by DJI. Once again, everything here that I recommend is from DJI because they simply make the best stuff. Even companies like GoPro tried and just failed. It's really hard to make a good drone, and DJI kills it. So I would recommend the Mavic. I'm completely skipping the Phantom series. So if you've seen the white Phantom drone, that's kind of DJI's flagship for a long time. I'm purposely skipping the Phantom because I think that right now, everything that is possible with a Phantom is possible with the Mavic line that I'm about to talk about. And the Mavic line has some advantages that the Phantom doesn't, so I'm not even going to talk about them. So, Mavic. There are a few different lines of the DJI Mavic. There is the DJI Mavic Pro, there is the DJI Mavic Air, and then now there's the new DJI Mavic Pro 2 and the Mavic 2 Pro and Mavic 2 Zoom. So I guess we can go over those. So the Mavic Pro, that one came out in, I believe it was 2016, 2017, I think 16 sometime. And the Mavic Pro was really like a whoa. When that thing came out, it was very obvious that DJI was doing some very cool things. So the coolest part about the Mavic Pro is that it can fold. So the Mavic Pro can fit in kind of a smaller footprint than even the Spark can. When it's completely folded, you could put it in a backpack easily, or some of their advertisements had it like a girl putting it in her purse or something. It's tiny. It really is tiny. So it folds up. The overall ergonomics of it is absolutely great. And this thing, the performance is ridiculous. So even the Mavic Pro, which I'm looking here at Amazon once again, they've got a whole combo with the transmitter, with memory cards and everything for $840. So this is an older model, so the price has gone down. Comes with chargers, everything you need, $840. And the coolest part about the Mavic Pro is its top speed and its endurance. So top speed is probably close to like 40 miles an hour. I had this aircraft for a year and a half, and I pushed it as hard as I could, and it would always keep up with, our wakeboarding boats or whatever we were kind of chasing. If you're chasing guys on bicycles or something, no big deal. That's easy. So maximum speed is about 40 miles an hour, and flight time is about 25 minutes. I think they're saying 27 minutes here. And the range on this is insane. So the DJI Spark uses a different transmission system than the Mavic has here, than the Mavic Pro has. And the Mavic Pro transmission system from the controller to the drone is really good, really, really good. I mean, I believe I did a 4-mile flight round trip. And it was all line of sight. Like I literally just pushed it forward as far away as I could see it and then came all the way back. So Mavic Pro is super cool. This one can shoot in 4K, so that's the next step up. So once again, if you've used the Spark and you like it and you want a little better camera, a little more flight time, whatever it may be, the Mavic Pro is super cool. It's really, really nice. It's a bigger sensor in the camera than in the DJI Spark, so it's going to be a little bit better in like a low light circumstance or low light situation than the Spark would be. Mavic Pro, it's just great, super reliable. Once again, uses DJI Go 4, has a lot of the same functionalities. You can do, point of interest mode. You can do waypoints. You can return to home if the battery is getting low, or at any given time. You can press the return to home button. It'll return right to home for you. Can't say enough good things about it. The Mavic Pro is absolutely awesome. It's really, really cool. So in addition to the Mavic Pro, they have the Mavic Air, which in all honesty, I kind of bypassed. I didn't even use it. I didn't even look at it. Price is similar, about $849 here on Amazon, with kind of I guess it depends on what kind of combo you're looking at. This one's very similar. I believe that the transmitter is more in line with like the Spark, so the transmission. So I don't believe you're going to get as far of a range as you would with a Mavic Pro. They did some different things in here, but for me, it wasn't too exciting. And because they have now released the Mavic 2, I honestly wouldn't even consider the Mavic Air. So I'm sorry, Mavic Air, not giving you much love here. So moving on then, we have the DJI Mavic 2. Okay, so let's say you've gotten into a drone, you like it, you know that you want to use it, you know what you want to use it for, you've got different uses for it, and you want a better camera. So if you've got the budget, if you do have the budget, DJI just released the Mavic 2, and they released it in 2 different versions. They have it as a zoom version, and they have it as a pro version. So I covered this exact aircraft in a recent YouTube video. I called it the best prosumer drone ever created by DJI. And I think that they really did. Like, this is without a doubt, here in 2018, this is without a doubt the best consumer drone you can get. Just for a whole wide range of reasons. This thing has, so I went with the Pro, for example. So the DJI Mavic 2 Pro, which has a Hasselblad camera sensor in it. And so to give you an idea, Hasselblad is the type of camera that they took up to the moon back in the 60s. So they've been around for a while. They make very nice cameras, very nice sensors. So this aircraft here is like $1,500 for the aircraft with the battery and the radio. I went with the with the combo version, and I believe I paid about $1,800 for it. And this thing's incredible. It shoots in 4K. Flight time is like a half an hour, 40-something miles an hour, top speed. Uses DJI Go 4, has even more of the cool little quick shots, as they call them. So they have not only the droney, but they have boomerang, they have asteroid, they have hyperlapse, which is super cool, where you can sit there and it'll take photos over the course of like half an hour if you want, and then stitch all those photos together into a movie, and then you have a hyperlapse of what just happened. Super, super cool. I tend to use that a lot. I was just on a trip actually out in Utah and Arizona, and it was awesome. I had the Mavic 2 with me, and the type of, like, the quality of image that it got is very, very incredible for the price. So once again, take a look at that YouTube video. There's a lot of good information on there. You can really see it in action. But that's if your price range is there. I mean, $1,800 for something that you could smash into a wall very easily is a lot of money. I mean, it really is. That's a lot of money right there. So if you're kind of a serious droner, I guess you could say. People say droners now. Anyway, so if you're seriously into drones and you want like a very nice picture, very nice still picture, a very nice video, then the Mavic 2 Pro is without a doubt right now the best drone you can get for the money. So we have the Telo, we have the Spark, we have the Mavic line. Now what's next? Now, honestly, after the Mavic is like the most expensive drone I think you could have for just like a personal use. So I think that the Mavic 2 is like a perfect drone for like a serious prosumer, I guess we could say. But the next drones that I'm going to talk about are really just for professionals. So if you're not going to be using your drone for professional use, you really don't need these. But it's cool to just kind of hear about how the tech works and what works together and why these things are set up in the way that they are. So the next step up from the Mavic, so the Mavic 2 is about $1,800 for the whole combo. The next step up that DJI has is the Inspire 2. Now, the Inspire 2, it's just a quadcopter. It's a drone that it's got different cameras that can attach to it. And some of these cameras are just very good, like cinema quality. I don't know if they would be able to fit the biggest budget films out there, but they are using these cameras for many, many of the car commercials you see, many of the just outdoor shots that you'll see in other commercials, shows that are on Amazon, Netflix, Hulu, HBO. They're using the Inspire 2, as well as some feature films. So the Inspire 2 is a serious drone. And with the different cameras and options that you can get, the whole combo would probably cost up to about maybe 10 grand, even more if you've got different lenses and such. But the Inspire 2 is really a serious drone. I mean, this thing here is very cool. Flight time, once again, really depends on your camera and such. But you can take some very high quality 4K video, some very high quality still images. You can go about, I believe I've seen this thing go up to like 70 miles an hour downwind on a windy day. So this thing can seriously move. Flight time is that 20 to 30 minute range. It's got a separate FPV camera, so you can see where you're going with the FPV camera, but then you can also have a second operator operate the camera itself. So this is a big point. So the fact that this is the first drone, like the most affordable drone in DJI's arsenal. They have an Inspire 1, but I think the Inspire 2 is really the way to go. So they have they have the ability here where the operator can fly the drone, one man can fly the drone, and the other person can operate the camera. So this is a huge step that allows you to get some shots that just a pilot by himself would be really hard to get. So really having that second gimbal operator allows you to do some very incredible things. So if you're looking into, so maybe, who would be buying this? So maybe if you've got a Mavic, maybe if you've got your Part 107 license, which allows you to go out there and fly and exchange pictures and video in return for money. If you have your Part 107 license here in the USA with the FAA, then and you've started to do some shoots with your Mavic 2 and you want to grow a little bit more. Maybe you want to do some higher end videos, pictures, whatever it might be, then the Inspire 2 is definitely the next step up. Take a look. I've seen a lot of these for sale on some of the forums, Facebook groups, eBay. For whatever reason, they look brand new in the box and they're holding their value, but you can definitely get them for a little cheaper. So if you want to step your game up, I've personally used the Inspire 2 a lot. It's awesome. This thing is just incredible. I can't say enough good things about it. It's just out of the box, ready to go. So the Inspire 2 is totally badass for that, like, not entry-level professional drone, but it really is. It's kind of like the entry-level professional drone that's very simple to use and just works flight after flight. And after the Inspire 2, they have their Matrice 600. Now, the Matrice 600 is an aircraft that is more in line with the older drones that we used to fly. So by that, I mean that it's a large hexacopter. You have to kind of put it together yourself. It comes partially assembled. You just have to assemble it the rest of the way. And with the Matrice 600, it starts around $5,000, but then you have to add a lot more professional equipment to it. So this one's more of a heavy lift machine. You can lift about, 20 pounds or something like that of a payload. But then you have to add on your own gimbal and your own camera lens and your own camera and camera filters and everything. So this is now getting into the professional league. I would also say that with the Matrice 600, we should also put in, actually, I slipped my mind. The only non-DJI product I would recommend would be like a FreeFly Alta 8. Where these are like professional level drones, big drones that can carry movie cameras. I mean, we'll carry like $50,000 movie camera packages with a drone of this size. So this is kind of into like a hexacopter, octocopter. And these drones are just a gateway into the high-end cinema professional level, where these will cost, your whole package loaded with the batteries and everything. You're maybe 20 grand to 50 grand by the time you have everything set. By the time you put the camera in there, your whole package that you're flying could literally be worth $80,000 or something insane. So just take a look at that. If you're kind of in the professional scene, that's a topic for another day. We can totally talk about these types of things if there's interest. So if you have interest in these types of big drones, then definitely hit me up and let me know. This podcast was more for like kind of beginner drones, is just starting. But for the beginners out there just starting, just so you know, when we're looking at a professional level drone like this with the Matrice 600 or even one bigger, we're using the exact same app. So we're using like DJI Go or DJI Go 4. We're using the same similar type of flight controller, the same video system. So the whole workflow on a big drone that's used to film like major Hollywood movies is the same workflow as you would get in a $400 Spark. So I think that that's a big thing to realize. Just realize the amount of technology that's in that and in something like a Spark. And then by learning how to fly, you will literally be able to fly an aircraft that can cost all the way up to $80,000 and can be used to shoot some of the biggest movies that you see. So that's just a super brief introduction into the kind of professional level drones. But I just wanted you to get a realization of kind of the spectrum of where drones are now. Even myself, I manufacture a drone now. So I'm manufacturing one. I call it the MFD 5000, where it's a big, heavy lifting monster. So my drone, we can carry like a 40-pound payload and fly it around at about 75, 80 pounds. We do that legally, of course, at a testing facility. But it gives you an idea, and that uses the same workflow as the Spark and the Mavic and everything else. So it's really cool. So to summarize, that's our whole range of drones right there. So that literally takes you from $100 all the way to the cost of like a nice college tuition for one drone. So hopefully this helped you out a little bit. Hopefully this kind of helped you realize which way you might want to go with a drone. I didn't get into too much detail with anyone in particular. If one kind of piqued your interest, definitely just pop it into YouTube and see. Take a look at the picture quality. But all the drones we discussed here, even the Spark, is going to be good enough video quality for you to share on social media or to make cool little videos for your friends and family. It's all high def. It's all good stuff. I mean, there's some really incredible technology out there right now. So I guess with that being said, I would just like to depart with a little safety plead, if I could. So if you've heard this and you think drones are awesome, yay, awesome, totally go get one. But let me just throw some really quick do's and don'ts out there, just really, really quick. First and foremost, please don't fly this over people or over like an active highway. Period. If you go and get your license where you can fly a drone legally in exchange for money, you will learn this, but I see this happening a lot. So just like don't fly this over a huge crowd of people, over major roads or something like that. Sporting events, I think they're shut down. We can't fly near a big sporting event within an hour before or after the sporting event. If you're going to fly on someone's like private property, just go ask them, just tell them. If you're going to fly downtown or something and you see a police officer, just go ask them, hey man, can I fly my drone? I think it's really simple. Just use some common sense with this thing. With these things, these can seriously hurt people. So just, please try to be respectful. And, if you see somebody being an idiot with a drone, then maybe just go tell them, be like, hey man, you're not helping the rest of us. The other thing is don't fly above 400 feet. A lot of the DJI drones have that locked out. So you can't, just set it to 400 feet. So you're never tempted to go above it. So this will help you keep away from any sort of commercial airlines or planes or anything like that. If you are too close to an airport, it'll tell you in the app. So that is very cool. So you don't even need to know really anything about where you are. Once you open up the app, it'll show you if you are in a good airspace to fly or if they don't allow you to. You might be too close to an airport or a stadium, or if you're in the mid-Atlantic, if you're too close to DC, it's not going to let you fly. So they've got a lot of safety built into these. It's always getting better and better. So now is an awesome time to get a drone. If you've ever been interested in a drone, now's literally the best time to take a look. So hopefully I peaked you guys right in time for Christmas. Hopefully I reached the guys who want to have a drone. You've got about 2 months now for Christmas presents, so definitely throw it on your list. And if you get one, then shoot me a message, tag me in some sort of post or something. Let me know that hopefully this helped you out a little bit. So yeah, that's about maybe that's about 1% of everything I know about drones. Just trying to make this kind of brief for you guys. I didn't want to drag this on too long. But if you are flying a drone, hit me up. Let me know what drone you like, what you use it for. A lot of people say they have no idea what they're going to use it with. And I really wonder what happens to them if the drone just sits in their closet or if they actually do use it for camping trips or whatever it might be. So hopefully this was a little helpful, and maybe I'll try to do one of these every year or something. I don't know, kind of update you with the latest models that I've seen coming out. Once again, DJI's killing it. Nobody's even close. Sorry. So yeah, if you don't like buying Chinese products, then you just can't buy a drone. Very sorry. But yeah, so that's it. That's drones. And hit me up. You can go to highvoltagepodcast.com to see the whole website here listed with all the episodes. This thing's now available on iTunes and on Google Play and on Podbean. Trying to get this podcast out there a little bit more. Hit up my YouTube pages. Our YouTube page, Facebook page, Instagram page, LinkedIn. I'm pretty active on all those. So if you need to get a hold of me, that's where you can get me. So thank you guys very much. Certainly appreciate you listening and would love to hear some feedback on this. Hopefully it helped you out. And that's all I got. You guys have a good one, and I'll catch you later with a full episode. Got a cool guy coming on for episode 3, a cool interview. This guy's awesome. So I look forward to that. So thank you guys. Appreciate it. And I will chat with you later. See you.